ladies and gentlemen, play is just about to get underway in a few minutes' time. We ask if all patrons could now make their way off the field, with the game getting underway very shortly. Once again, we ask all patrons to make their way off the field, with the game getting underway very shortly. Of course, before we do, AFL and the Northern Territory Football League would like to take this time to thank their premier partners, TIO, the Northern Territory Government and the Australian Government. We'd also like to acknowledge our NTFL sponsors and partners, Kazali's Palmerston Club, Carlton and United Breweries, Impex, Coca-Cola, Towards Zero, Intersport, No More, Bridge to Enoda, Sharon, and of course thanks to our media partners, 7 News Darwin, NT News, Mix 104.9, Hot 100, Kick Digital and NITV. Once again, play getting underway very shortly. We do ask if all patrons to make their way off the field. Coming out very shortly, Nightcliff versus Wanderers live here at TIO Stadium. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder for everyone to make their way off the field. Play is just about to get underway.
Well, good evening and welcome to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the 2020-21 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League semi-final between Nightcliff and Wanderers. My name's Liz Cruz. Joining me in the commentary box tonight, Stu Davis and Heidi Thompson. Well, a great game shaping up in front of us tonight, Heidi.
Yeah, good evening, folks. It sure is. I think Wanderers, with their captain Braden McLean out, and Nightcliff clearly on a bit of a form roll. It makes for a great contest.
Grand final qualifier, of course, the second semi-final, and we're underway. Jabaston Priest reaches over the top, gets the first hit out, gets his hands on the ball again, but can't take possession. Nightcliff worked the ball from the backward of centre through Bowles. He kicks along to half forward. Thomas Motlop works his way player under the ball, but couldn't complete the mark, and it beats all players over the boundary line in the left forward pocket for Nightcliff.
Thomas Motlop was fantastic in the first quarter for Wanderers last week, so looks like he's on his mate. Is it Philip Wills? Is he on there over the other side?
Looks that way.
Old teammates, and yeah, they'll have a good battle tonight.
So Butcher doing the ruck work in the forward line for Nightcliff. Ball's on the ground now. pack of players around. Will's in there, gets a hack kick out, but Sean Manor for Wanderers runs it out with a hand pass in front of Dre Thompson. He overruns the ball. Coming in hard there was McFarlane, gets it over to Manor again. Manor drives the ball long. There's plenty of space in the forward line, and the kick was good and hit Big Simpson on the chest about just inside the 50 mark.
That's one guy you wouldn't want to leave with too much space, Heidi.
No, he's going to do some damage. Big, tall forward. Still got to kick this around 50 metres, though.
So, taking plenty of time over this one. Kicks on the way, he's left that out to the right. It's going near the boundary line, bounces inside and over. And I'll just look down the team sheet and notice that Brett Eddy's not playing tonight for Wanderers, which is a massive out.
Massive.
And
I think the leading goal kicker on 68 goals.
Yeah, he's usually their go-to man in the forward line.
So with him and Braden McLean, of course, out, that's some of their key drivers in the side. But Simpson's on this one again, hooks around on the left foot, but that one's chopped off by Nyhouse in the goal square.
And, of course, it's Jonathan Peris's 200th game. He ran through the banner at the start of the game, so congratulations to Boyo.
So McFarlane with the ball in front of him here, under plenty of pressure from Cameron Eilert. Eilert wraps him up. No free kick given. It'll be a restart again. Umpire Joel Morrison comes in.
Umpires tonight, Mark Noonan, Patrick Rawsthorne, and as you said, Joel Morrison.
Manor on the bottom of this one. He just took a little bit too long and got caught with the ball. And Nightcliff again, but that's a pretty ordinary kick and out of bounds on the full. So free kick taken down here by Brodie Newman, who was also terrific last week across half-back and has been all year. He drives the ball deep into a pack of play.
Wow.
Huge leap from behind by Boyd, but he couldn't hold on to the mark, and Nightcliff bring it out of defence. Ryan Moo with quick hands to Philo. Philo, fortunate kick there, hits Monners Wakefield. He stands up and plays on and loses the ball, and Thomas Motlop tidies up for Wanderers. Chips it over to Sean Manor, getting plenty of the ball again already in this first quarter. His kick forward is easily chopped off down there, this time by Boyd, and he brings it back the way it came. And nice mark running with the flight of the ball by Hugo Drogamala.
Just need to settle here. It's a bit back and forth at the moment. Stop, start, settle, have a look, hit a target.
Drogamala long down the line. Newman setting himself again, and strong hands takes that one in front under pressure from Emery. Kicks the ball into the corridor in the centre of the ground. Good defensive work there. But Nightcliff with their hands on the ball again, driving it forward, Monners Wakefield, and it falls in the lap of Big John Butcher down there. Just made position well, used his body, got his opponent out of the way, and took the mark about 15 metres out from goal.
Yeah, great body work, but against the run of play, really. Wanderers have had a fair bit of the footy, a couple of forward entries already. Butcher lining up.
So he comes in, he'll be kicking from 20 metres or so. Kicks on the way, looks pretty good, straight through the middle for the first goal of the game, and Nightcliff are on the board.
Yeah, nice start by Nightcliff, working through the middle of the ground, trying to use the corridor through the hands, and they end up getting a fairly effective forward entry. So fumbles there with Wanderers in the middle of the pack, and then good block on there by Cammy Eilert, and a deep forward entry.
And of course,
body work.
got John Butcher with that AFL experience. He played 31 games and kicked 41 goals with Port Adelaide after being taken as a number 8 draft pick in the 2009 national draft. So he'll be a key player, big forward for Nightcliff there. It's his second year of the NTFL. And now we're at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, and it's Nightcliff one straight goal, leading Wanderers yet to score.
So the restart, Priest and Drogamala. Priest gets his hands on the ball now and swings around, kicks the ball deep into the forward line. It's at half forward. Good hands again, and Manor again on the end of this one, floats this one forward. It's loose at the top of the goal square. Through the hands they go. Simon Bates on the end of it, and he slams it home for Wanderers' first goal. A quick response.
One of their key players, Bates. Quick player, not the biggest of players, but he used his speed and agility really well. And in that situation there, ball came out the back. There were in fact 3 Wanderers players, could have gone to. Yeah, so we've got a chase down here, a bit of pressure on Wanderers player kicking in, and a fumble.
Spilt mark in the back line, and that just left the gate open, didn't it?
Yeah,
Could have
sure
been
did.
any one of those that kicked the goal. But Sean Manor must have had 6 or 7 touches already in this game. He's really dominating around the midfield.
Yep, Simon Bates loves a goal. He's a very passionate Wanderers man and played all his life with Wanderers. So the score's now even, 1 goal apiece at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter.
Priest and Drogamullah. Drogamullah this time gets his hand to the ball. Visser in there for Wanderers though. He was tackled, and eventually it comes to Wills, who goes through the hands. Beautiful forward entry once again. This time it was Bailey Henderson who delivered, and
good
mark
lead up.
taken out there by Kyle Emery.
Yeah,
Sorry.
nice lead up from forward there in Henderson, and a punchy low kick. Didn't give it a heap of air, which really gave Henderson the opportunity to take it out on his chest.
It's Emery, Heidi. Henderson delivered it to him.
Apologies.
That's all
Emery.
right.
Emery is the leading goal kicker for Nightcliff on 56 this season. So let's have a look what he does with this one.
Kicking from just inside 50. Kicks on the way now. Goal umpire's making plenty of ground, and in fact he's dragged that right out of bounds on the full. Yep.
Probably because I called him Henderson.
Well, there's a great crowd in here tonight. We just witnessed a great game between St Mary's and Waratah, with St Mary's advancing through to next week. And, of course, they'll play the loser of this game while the winner progresses to the grand final. So there's a bit at stake tonight.
So mark taken on the outer side by Motlop. Matthew Motlop kicks along the wing, but that's gone over all of his players there, and Bowles just chops that one off pretty easily in front of the scoreboard and drives it back to where it came from, inside Nightcliff's forward 50. Bodies flying out of the pack there, but beautifully done again down there by Newman. But again, kicks it straight into the hands of his opponent Bowles. And Bowles this time drills a pass in and finds Danny Butcher. Danny Butcher's kick out in front of Emery, picks it up on the bounce, swings around on the left foot, and that's a beautiful snapshot for goal. Great finish, and pretty clean. Not much pressure on him though, but
That was a bit too easy, wasn't it, Stu?
Yeah, Wanderers players looking at each other a bit down there, but just needed someone to put a bit of pressure on attacking the ball.
So Emery is second on the league goal kicking list behind Brett Eddy from Wanderers. So he went to Palmerston Magpies for a couple of seasons, but back at Nightcliff, and a good goal there for Emery. Also spent some time on the NT Thunder list. So the score now, Nightcliff 2 straight goals to Wanderers 1 goal. About the 8.5 minute mark of the first quarter, you're watching AFL NT's coverage of the 2020-21 TIO NTFL finals from TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Ball up again. Priest wins this one down to McFarlane through the hands of Motlop, and there's a free kick here, and that'll go to Jerome Motlop in the middle of the ground for a high tackle. He hands it off to Aaron Motlop. Aaron Motlop runs away and kicks inside forward 50 towards the outer side. Hands on the ball. Marcus Totham's first there with the ball on the ground. Chips inboard and hits Hodgson, who bounced off his chest, but he was good enough to get there and take the second grab. And he's only 25 metres out from goal.
Some free-flowing footy already. Quick pace compared to the game that we just watched prior to this one.
And the sun is going down and the lights are coming on here at TIO Stadium.
So Hodgson with the shot on goal, played across half-back last week, so they've switched things around a bit. His kick just fades across and misses for a behind.
Yeah, pretty well organised unit, Wanderers. Looking like they've got a fair bit of talk and communication there. Setting up, trying to win the ball back here for another potential shot on goal.
Ryan Nyhouse to bring the ball in. He goes short here, looking for Sean Wilson. The ball's knocked away from him, but he recovers well, gets his hands on the ball, hand passes out, misses the target. Wilson's in there again, hooks a hand pass over the top, and now Bowles runs through, scoops it up one-handed and drives the ball along the wing, hitting Cameron Eilert on the outer side. Eilert in short, finds Drogamullah, hands it back here, and Butcher through the hands of Wills. Wills kicks in towards centre half forward, a bit of a scrubber along the ground, and that one's tidied up in defence by Zelio Casemiro. Casemiro's kick to the outer wing, and it's off hands and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, nice work there. Pick the ball up and get it out onto the far wing, and it was just spoiled over the top for a stoppage. Centre wing.
Boundary throw in. Drogamala reaches over with the left hand, wins the hit out, but Manor is there for Wanderers and wins another clearance. Hits Hodgson on the lead up from centre half forward, hands it back to Manor now, ducks back around and kicks long inside forward 50. Simpson getting underneath this one. Nyhouse was up early, but all fair in that one, and play on's the call, kicks to the outer side where Eilert takes possession on the bounce, just ducks back a bit and chips it along the wing and finds Drogamala on the outer side. Hugo Drogamala looking for options now, kicks in short, and there he hits up Jack Hammond.
It's a great kick to change lanes there, just changing the angle slightly on the 45.
Hammond goes short again and finds Moo. Moo hands it off to Brew. Brew on the left inside 50, but Casemiro came across, couldn't take the mark. Wanderers through the hands, get it to Newman eventually. His kicks it just a bit high for Matthew Motlop out there, and allowed the Nightcliff player to come over the top and spoil and see it go over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Yeah, just needed to kick that to advantage more than anything. Don't need to put any airtime on the ball. You want it out in front so that the opponent can't come through and halve the contest.
Just looking at the Nightcliff bench, and Brody Philo giving some instructions there with Kane Riley and who else is down there? Bailey Henderson by the looks.
Cameron Eilert with the clearance from that Betty throw-in. Kept the ball close to the boundary line. Wanderers with their hands on the ball. Casemiro again, but he's tackled over the boundary line. Didn't have much room to work in. And
defending well so far, Wanderers, holding their space and pairing up nicely.
Wanderers have Keelan Fijo celebrating his 100th game tonight as well, so congratulations to Keelan. I'm pretty sure he designed their Indigenous jumper as well, so that they're wearing.
So Wills gets on the end of this one, has an air shot with as he tried to hook it back on the left foot. And again, a boundary throw-in.
Wouldn't mind having that one over again, I'd say, Stu. Left foot airy.
Bit going on in the goal square with Thomas Motlop and Kyle Emery. Umpire just telling them to settle down, and Thomas said, okay.
A lot at stake, and I guess emotions can take over in games like this.
Yep.
Got to be careful, though.
Butcher over the back, just flicks it over the back, but Aaron Motlop's there. He gets the quick kick out, play on's the call. Comes straight back in, it's going all the way through, and that's a terrific finish, a great goal. And I think that was young Andy Moners-Wakefield that kicked that one in, it was.
Yep.
So
drilled it, absolutely drilled it. Look, he's not a big guy, not the longest legs or the muscliest legs, but he's got some power in them, that's for sure.
Yeah, he made his Premier League debut in round 9 and was nominated for the NT News Rising Star Award. He's been a Nightcliff junior. All the way through. I remember seeing the video that Nightcliff put on their Facebook page when he got the call up for Premier League, and he's a pretty popular bloke around the club. So great goal there, and that takes the score to Nightcliff 3 straight goals, 18, leading Wanderers 1-1-7, just coming up to the 14-minute mark of the first quarter.
Daniel Bowles in to do the ruck work now for Nightcliff, so they're really mixing it up in there. They of course lost their big man a few weeks ago, and so they probably had to have some makeshift players come in and do the job, but this time Henderson kicks forward after receiving the hand part, and Brew goes down to half forward. Wills runs onto this one, swings around and chips it inside 50, and
brilliant.
Ryan Moo sits under this one, takes the mark, plays on with a hand pass looking for Emery, missed him, but he's still got a bit of space, but he's pounced on from behind by Newman. And
umpire Noonan was right on the spot there and called that one. Yeah, I don't think he realised there was players coming from behind.
So Brody Newman for Wanderers. Kicks high and long out to the wing here. Kane Riley with the leap, punches from behind. Hodgson back on it. Fuller gets a hand pass forward, but it's a bit of a ping pong down there, and Manor clears away and now runs out.
He's under some pressure,
yeah.
Oh, Manor.
But kicks chopped off, and Budrick gets this one out. Philo over the top, brings it to ground, and then gathers the ball himself. Peris in there, tackled, loses the ball. Tipalura kicks long down towards the goal square. It goes over the top of the two players down there. Running onto it down there for Nightcliff is Boyd, and he has some composure and kicks out wide. And Nyhouse just hooks it around the corner. Andy Moners-Wakefield tried to trap it with his foot there, bit of clever work, and picks up, kicks along the wing to Eilert. Eilert chips inside, but Thomas Motlop comes in strongly. But Henderson again on the end of this uses the ball nicely to Moo. Moo Hand passes again. And Nightcliff going inside 50. Oh, comes to Butcher at the back on the left foot. He has a snap. But,
casual. Very casual.
Casual, yeah.
Who's been great through the middle of the park there, getting a lot of the handball receives and then just using the ball effectively.
Yeah, so he's keen to hand the ball off whenever he can, but obviously he's doing the role that Chris Bax wants him to down there. So plans the call now, and Totham kicks forward. That's good vision there. Kicked it up, and he's hit Warwick Williams forward there. And I think we've got a 50-metre penalty. Kane Riley inside the protected
Umpire
zone.
Joel Morrison right on the mark there. Wife Liza Morrison actually just made the next round of the Women's Premier League final with Nightcliff Tigers. Big win over St Mary's.
Yeah, the Nightcliff women were fantastic today against St Mary's, advancing through to another week of finals.
Umpire Morrison saw the game.
I'm sure he did.
So we used to see Williams across half back, but obviously they're using him forward in the early part of this game, and he made some space there, got on the end of it, and with the 50-metre penalty, a real chance to kick Wanderers' second goal. Comes in now, kicks on the way. It looks like he's just snuck that one inside the right-hand goal post, and gets the congratulations of his teammates. And Wanderers, of course, still right in this game with their second, trailing by 6 points at the 17-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, Warwick Williams, originally from Mildura, where he played for Redcliffs. He's come up for a couple of seasons for Wanderers and then made the move up here. So I don't think he played last week, but that 50-metre penalty hurts, doesn't it, Heidi?
It does. Yeah, it was a pretty short 50 really in the end, but kicked it nicely. Made him pay really for that 50 undisciplined.
That's right. So 17.5-minute mark of the first quarter. Nightcliff Tigers 3-1-19, leading Wanderers 2-1-13. Just 6 points in it.
So the restart here. Bowles wins the hit out, but batted forward by Wanderers, and they get the clearance in the end down to half forward, but running off half back. Nightcliff tidy that one up. Kick long down the flank here. Eyelet by hand to Holt Fitz. Holt Fitz on the left foot, drills it inside, and John Butcher on the lead. Just had the space to run into, and Holt Fitz waited the kick beautifully to allow him to run onto it and took it on the chest.
Yeah, Butcher's been a good target in the forward line for Nightcliff.
Just hard to defend against those, isn't it? When you get in front, get out in and the kicks
key.
To your advantage, allowing you to run onto it. So terrific footy there. Butcher's kick on the way, looks good again. He likes it.
Oh, yeah.
Straight through the middle, and pretty clinical going forward, Nightcliff. So they get their fourth goal on the board.
Celebrated straight off the boot then. He knew exactly where that was going. And the Tigers are putting on a bit of a show at the moment. Wanderers are right in it, definitely. It's a bit of an arm wrestle back and forth.
John Butcher and brother Danny Butcher have played a couple of seasons for Nightcliff and premiership players, and Danny's also had that sample experience with Port Adelaide and North Adelaide. So some really key players for Nightcliff over the past few seasons, as we see Cam Eyelet just having a breather on the bench down there. Been good in the first quarter as always.
Yeah, getting out wide on that outer side a lot tonight. So normally you'd see him in and under a fair bit, but they're just using him out wide, and he's a good target out there coming out of defence. Manor in there again, gets tackled as he tries to grab the ball. Brew picks up and hacks the ball forward with a huge torpedo straight down the middle of the ground, and Butcher's underneath it again.
He is again, using all that class he spoke about, Cruzy. Lots of experience, AFL experience, and when you've got a big body like that, it's so hard to stop.
Yeah, pretty tough for Wanderers to get a match up on him, I think, when you have a look what they've got available down there.
Yeah, they're looking a bit small.
And Don Brew, what a pick-up for Nightcliff he's been this season as well.
Won their Best and Fairest award this season, and that's pretty good in a side like Nightcliff that have got so many stars.
Sure is.
Of course, played in the rep side. Butcher's kick, not the best off the boot, but good enough. He got.
I was writing it down on the paper, and then I thought, hang on, the umpire's gone sideways.
Snuck in.
Yep. No. 3 goals already to John Butcher. 20-minute mark of the first quarter. Good start.
So yeah, Don Brew, of course, will be one of the fancied players for the Nichols medal next week. But got plenty of players around him that would catch the umpire's eye as well, you would think.
Yeah, you see on the replay there, Butcher just uses all of his body weight to push off, and his opponent really had no chance. They might need to start thinking about another match up there.
Brenton Motlop He was really good last week on, I think, was he on Jackson Payne last week and sort of nullified him, but he's probably giving away a bit of height. So, yeah, they need to look at who they can put on him.
So Drogamella got his hand to it, but McFarlane, the clearance for Nightcliff, straight down the ground, but Brown's chopped that one off. Nathan Brown chips out sideways to Bowles. So using Bowles off half-back and through the ruck every now and then, he chips it into Nyhouse on the outer side. And Nyhouse just slowing things down now. Chips it again. This time it falls short of his teammate there in Hammond, and he was under pressure. Nyhouse comes in again. Hand passes over the top. Bruce in there, worried out of it. Trey Thompson comes in but can't take the ball cleanly. It's patted out and Sean Wilson picks up. Not sure where to go. Eventually kicks down the line and finds a spare player in Philo. Philo plays straight on. Drills it inside 50, but no Nightcliff player there. And chopped off by Jordan Jeffrey. Jeffrey short to Thomas Motlop, misses it and it goes through his legs, and now they're under pressure, but Trent Melville out there just couldn't keep the ball in play, and so it's a boundary throw in.
They got a bit of firepower down there, Nightcliff, if you've got the likes of Trent Melville down there with John Butcher. I think Trent won the leading goal kicker 1 year in the last few seasons.
2 years ago, I think, and won the Cheney medal in the grand final last year. So Brew around the corner to the top of the goal square. Newman in there, couldn't take the mark this time. Wanderers looking to run it out of defence. And Matthew Motlop handed it to Thomas Motlop. He chips to Visser. Visser looks one way, ducks back into the corridor, but goes over the head of his teammates there. And Brown coming through again, but this one's chopped off by Newman.
Just need to settle now.
Yeah,
just missing targets out of their defensive 50. Nightcliff will make them pay every time.
Sean Manor again covering plenty of the ground. Takes the mark on the outer side, half-back flank. Kicks along the wing there. Ball goes over the back of the pack. And Philip Wills sees it out for another boundary throw in.
So almost the 23-minute mark of the first quarter. Nightcliff 5-1-31, leading Wanderers 2-1-13. Ball over on the scoreboard wing.
So hit out there, but it's Manor again with the clearance. Quick kick forward and off hands and over the boundary line. So another boundary throw in on the outer side. Just a look at the Nightcliff crowd there, but Drogamella uses his body well and flicks it back. Trey Thompson this time tries to run away. He's caught with the ball. It spills out in front. Play on's the call. Sean Wilson in there. Hand passes forward. Philo around the corner. Drives the ball long down towards half forward. Eilert over the back reaching for it. Kyle Emery trying to run onto it, but Thomas Motlop just works him out of the way and picks up the ball and clears to the outer side, where Mano once again is on the end of this one. Keeps the ball in play cleverly. Has a bounce and then kicks the ball long around the boundary line.
Oh, great mark.
Bowles chipping in there, takes a terrific intercept mark, and he'll relieve the pressure for Nightcliff. Chips it inboard. That's not his best kick, but Kane Riley runs onto it, gives it off to Philo. Philo long, deep into the forward line. Butcher underneath this one again. And Jordan Jeffrey really got his hands full down there, and Jordan didn't play last week. He's brought into the side this week probably to do that job, but Butcher's just a bit too strong for him at the moment, and positioning himself better. Hooks around the corner.
Makes no mistake.
Slams through his fourth goal in this first quarter.
Yeah, if we see the replay here, you'll see that Jeffrey actually had front spot and he was hesitant on whether to go forward, back, and then in the end he didn't really do either of those things, and it just landed in Butcher's lap. I don't think he in fact had to move. So hopefully Jeffrey is able to reflect on that.
4 goals for John Butcher in the opening quarter of this semi-final. Nightcliff 6-1-37, leading Wanderers 2-1-13, coming up to the 25-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, you can see Jeffrey there is just filthy on himself.
The son of the great Russell Jeffrey.
So the restart here. It's Priest up against Drogamella. Drogamella wins the hit out. But it's a Wanderers free kick. McFarlane looking to take the advantage, but it's called back. He really didn't have much of an advantage anyway.
Aaron Motlop's one of 5 Motlops out there playing, 1 coach, and even the team manager's a Motlop, so pretty good representation by the family tonight. He kicks it to his cousin JJ.
So Jerome Motlop squares the ball to McFarlane, still inside the centre circle, and now he kicks out wide. Totham out there he's looking for, but it's gone over his head. Eilert works back, works under the ball. Nyhouse, some clever footwork off the ground to the advantage of Wilson. Beautiful hands as he's tackled to Eilert. The ball comes back to Wilson, and that ends the first quarter, and Nightcliff have stamped their authority on the first quarter and really sending a message to Wanderers, I think, with the 4-goal lead at quarter time.
Yeah, a few headaches for Wanderers coach Shannon Motlop. Going to need to do something about that match up there, ensuring that Butcher doesn't just have it all on his own terms in the second quarter.
Yeah, 4 goals to John Butcher. The score, Nightcliff 6-1-37, leading Wanderers 2-1-13. We'll be back for the second quarter very soon.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
So we can feel wherever you feel, together being real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing could ever bring me
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
Come and see it.
still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
To Wanderers 2-1-13. We'll just ask for spectators to now make their way off the field with the second quarter about to get underway. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, for spectators to now make their way off the field with the second quarter about to get underway. Once again, it is quarter time here at TIO Stadium. It's Nightcliff 6-1-37, leading Wanderers 2-1-13.
Well, welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the second quarter of this semi-final between Nightcliff and Wanderers. It's Nightcliff 6-1-37, leading Wanderers 2-1-13. 4 goals to John Butcher in the first quarter. Heidi, pretty impressive.
Really impressive, and I think Wanderers are going to have to sort out that match-up there to ensure Nightcliff don't run away with it here in this second quarter. I thought Ryan Moo was fantastic as well through the middle of the park for Nightcliff, but Wanderers are certainly in this match, that's for sure.
Looks like Brenton Motlop's gone to Butcher down there. He's given away a fair bit of height, but he's a strong body player, so see how he goes. But Drugamala wins a hit out, but straight down McFarlane, straight for Wanderers. He gets the clearance, drives them forward. Strong fist from behind, and Monters Wakefield picks up, kicks quickly down to half forward, but that one's chopped off. And Jeffrey gets the kick across here to McFarlane, who's too slow to get rid of that one, caught with the ball, and the advantage was paid. Philo was caught, got the hand pass out, and again, strong bodies over the ball, and umpire Noonan.
Philo took it on and then went, oh, no, changed my mind.
Too late.
So the ball up, Priest reaches over the top, just can't control it. It falls into his hands now, and he kicks long into an open forward line over the back. Beautifully judged by Peris, taking that mark going back, and he chips it sideways now.
They should be able to use the far side of the field here. They've got a couple of spare players, especially out on the wing, if he turns.
Boyd into Budrick. Budrick looking to go wide again to Sean Wilson. Over the top, Boyd back looking for Budrick, but that hand pass misses him. And Philo comes in to lend support. Gets a hand pass into the clear. Wilson's in there, gets bundled out of the way by Visser. Hands off to Simpson. Simpson in short to Sean Manor, takes the mark, running with the flight of the ball inside forward 50, and just slows things up for Wanderers. He runs around now and plays on, has a shot at goal. Looks like he's just dragged that one to the left and missed.
Yeah, it's a shame. He's been lively.
Been really good. He's been a really good player for them all year when he's played. He missed a few weeks, but an important player for Nightcliff. Nyhouse brings it in and kicks long to the outer side. Kane Riley's found some space and runs away straight away with a bounce. He keeps the ball close to the boundary line around the outer side and hits Cameron Eilert coming up from half forward, taking that mark. Eilert again keeping the ball close to the boundary line, goes inside 50 in front. Emery had a couple of grabs at it, couldn't keep hold of it. Under pressure from Thomas Motlop, and the ball goes over the boundary line for a throw in.
Thomas with the leg strapped tonight there. He didn't have that
heavily
on last
strapped.
week, so
yeah,
he was very good last week for Wanderers.
And of course, another one missing for Wanderers tonight is Josh Cabillo, who didn't play the second half at all last week, so obviously an issue there. But they'd be hoping to get him back in
very important
next
player.
time they play. So the ball loose at half forward, and gets a free kick here actually for Wanderers, for Nightcliff. Must have been holding the ball free kick, and Kyle Emery comes up with it, and he'll go back and kick for goal from about 35 metres out.
Minister Eva Lawler and Natasha Files sitting in the crowd there. Tash, pretty sure she's the patron of the Nightcliff Football Club. Eva's the patron of Darwin Buffaloes.
Not Palmerston.
She's a sponsor of Palmerston, but
Right.
she's long-time Buffaloes. Her late husband Tommy was a player for Buffaloes, so yeah. But she does sponsor Palmerston and volunteers in the canteen down there.
Kick hits the post, and while we're talking trivia, their son actually played for Southern Districts.
He did, Lindsay. He's home at the moment. I saw him yesterday, so he works in Western Australia. But yeah. They're just sharing the NTFL love, the Lawlers, and daughter Kirby, good hockey player for St Mary's, so there you go.
McFarlane round the outer wing. Deacon Braun runs onto this one, but he's under plenty of pressure from Bowles. Ball spills out. Braun in there again. Couldn't pick it up under pressure. Bowles does. Stands up and gets the hand pass out to Wilson. Wilson ducks back around, loses his footing, and then he's tackled by Matthew Motlop and rewarded with a free kick there. So Matthew Motlop in front of the scoreboard on the outer side. Kicks the ball forward. No, whistle must be out the back, I think. But play on's the call here. Peris running onto this one. Hands it off to Bowles. Bowles off a step. Hacks it out of defence. Outside defensive 50, but again, ball on the ground and plenty of players wrap it up. And another restart with the ball up just outside forward 50 for Wanderers. Joe Baston Priest reaches over the top. Brew takes it, hand passes forward, but Manor in there again, gets a quick kick out inside 50. Running onto it here is Hodgson. Hodgson picks up and swings the ball around the corner, going back with the ball. Oh, it was taken out of Simpson's hands, and Tipalura tackled strongly there as he lost his footing, and Kane Riley rewarded for the tackle, and he chips to the near side here, and Peris drives long along the wing, and beautifully weighted kick falls into the lap here of Kyle Emery in front of the grandstand. Emery chips in short and finds his teammate there, Bailey Henderson. Henderson looking inboard, but not much happening there for him, so he goes down the line instead, very close to the boundary line, bounces just inside, and carried over down there by Newman.
Pretty good outcome, really. There wasn't much doing in the middle of the ground. Had a look at the corridor option and then went down the line and managed to get a stoppage.
Trogamala works his way to the front, but McFarlane read it best, hands it off to Jerome Motlop. He kicks the ball down towards the wing here. Deacon Braun amongst a nest of Tiger defenders, and the numbers went out in the end. Nyhouse cleverly chips the ball out wide here to Philo. Philo on the left drills it around the boundary line, but over the back, Marcus Totham's first there, trying to evade the tackle, runs towards the boundary line, hands off to Thomas Motlop. His hand pass misses the target though. Emery in there picks it up, he's tackled, doesn't get rid of the ball, and surely will be penalised here, and he is. So great work by Totham. Great pressure and good tackling, and
got some good speed, Totham.
Yep. Oh,
closing speed's brilliant. That's how he gets a lot of rundown tackles like that one.
So he found Casemiro, who had to dive to take the mark, but he chips it in short to Jeffrey, and just working the ball around inside defensive 50. He chips short along the line to Thomas Motlop, and Thomas just having a look at what options he's got. He's got a running player here in McFarlane, whose jumper's almost ripped off his back.
He's been busy, McFarlane.
Yeah.
Sees plenty of the footy.
Another one that's one of the favourites for the medal. But
had a great season.
Ball slips over. Deacon Braun in there again, just can't take possession. Coming in there was Keelan Fijo to support. Cameron Islet on the bottom of the pack, and a ball up again. So between wing and centre, and pretty much nullified that ruck contest. Running onto it was Henderson for Nightcliff, drives it forward, but reading it best again.
Well organised.
Wanderers was Newman. He chips it across to Casemiro. Casemiro goes wide to the outer side looking for Brenton Motlop. Bounces in front of him. He runs onto it now, has a bit of space, and kicks the ball wide around the outer side, close to the boundary line, and Boyd sees it over, and it'll be a boundary throw in once again.
Yeah, I really like the look of Wanderers in their defensive half. They're really well set up. They've got good role players in there, one spare out the back, and they like to use the fat side and switch the footy.
Yeah, Brody Newman, he's played with the Calder Cannons in the NAB Cup. I think he was captain in 2019, and he'd signed on for Werribee in the VFL last year but didn't get a chance due to COVID, so shows the calibre of his game.
Philo with a deep kick into the forward line, and Trent Melville this time reaches up over the back, made best position, and Shawhands took the mark as he fell backwards, and he'll go back and kick for goal from about 35 out.
Yeah, they've got the luxury of having Butcher there, but then you've also got Trent Melville. So the forward line of the Tigers is going to be providing plenty of headaches for the Wanderers Football Club.
Melville now just a couple of steps, kicks towards goal, and I think he's snuck that one in. He likes it, and that's the first goal of the quarter, and Nightcliff just stretched that lead again.
Yeah, Trent Melville, originally from the Tea Tree Gully Football Club in the Adelaide Football League. He's been up here for a couple of seasons now. He's a two-time premiership player with Nightcliff and won the Cheney Medal, as Stu mentioned, in the 2019-20 grand final. He was the Dennis Dunn leading goal kicker with 55 goals in the 2018-19 season, and played for NT Thunder in the NEFL in 2019. So he's been fantastic for the Tigers in the last few seasons. Beautiful ball drop and kick there. So the score now at the 9-minute mark of the second quarter, Nightcliff 7-2-44, leading Wanderers 2-2-14. You're watching AFLN TV's coverage of the 2020-21 TIO NTFL finals from TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Bowles in there, beautiful hit out. Eilert ran onto it and made some space, kicked deep into the forward line. The ball's on the ground. Newman again for Wanderers back there, tidies up and chips out and finds Aaron Motlop out here. Aaron Motlop plays on straight away with a quick kick around the corner. Dre Thompson gets onto this one, chips it inboard, looking there for Priest. It misses the target there. Wills comes in and puts some pressure on. The ball's loose on the ground. Thompson goes flying through the pack, misses everything, and Brew picks up, hands off to Henderson, and Henderson kicks the ball forward where Thomas Motlop tidies up for Wanderers, drives the ball back along the wing, but Dom Brew sits under that one and takes the mark. Crowd calling for 50. I don't really think there was much in that, and Brew's just looking around now. He's called to play on, so has to kick off one step, but
not a bad kick off one step.
And Melbourne read it best. Plays on quickly into the corridor looking for Butcher. Motlop works him under the ball. Brenton Motlop tries to kick off the ground, almost misses. He's still got the ball in front of him. He hasn't now. He's run past it, and Ryan Moo comes in, hands it off to Holt Fitz. Holt Fitz has a swing around the corner and vacant goal square and bounced it through. So
classy finish from Holt Fitz.
Yeah, and just good use of the ball down there, and good work by Ryan Moo to work Brenton Motlop out of position.
Yeah, you'll see on the replay here, he's a pretty small player, but when he wins the ball here at ground level, he's clean and wow, he's quick. Yep. He is quick, and he gives off the option. You spoke about it before, Stu. Gives the handball into Holtz Fitz, who does the rest, snapping on the right.
Yeah, well, anyone who's watched the NTFL footy in the last few seasons knows who Liam Holt Fitz is, the Tennant Creek kid. He's an absolute superstar. He won the Cheney medal in the 2018-19 grand final. And I think he was pretty NT News Rising Star. I think I interviewed him 3 years in a row there because he was so young getting nominations, but a great goal. Nightcliff 8-2-50, leading Wanderers 2-2-14.
So Bowles taps it down to Eilert again, but this time it's chopped off by McFarlane, who's had a jumper change, so take note of that. He's in 24 now, but gets it back and hooks around the corner and goes deep towards the 50. Simpson coming out from full forward down there, tries to fend off a couple of players, and there's
umpire Joel Morrison's having none of that. He's feigning an injury there on the face.
Umpire Morrison, also the CEO of NT Cricket,
he
hiding.
Sure is, yes. Umpire by night.
Yeah, held in very
CEO by day.
Very high regard.
So this boundary throw in, Bowles just lets Fuller take that tap, but Wilson runs onto it. Oh, quick hands to Philo, back to Wilson. Wilson's kick is sprayed this time though and out of bounds on the full.
Exciting play.
Brodie Newman with the kick, drives down the wing here looking for Fuller, finds him, and Fuller takes the mark, goes back.
Need to look for a target here. Effective ball use. No blazing away and panic kick.
Goes long down the line. Oh, Nias with a huge leap. Couldn't take the mark, and ball spills off hands over the boundary line. So just waiting for the restart here. Bowles and Fuller, the nominated rucks. Bowles in front, ball goes over the back. Kane Riley tidies it up, hand passes off to Holt Fitz. Holt Fitz long, Ryan Moos found the ball again, hand passes off again, this time to Melville, who kicks inside the corridor to John Butcher, outside 50. He's looking to play on quickly, he does, kicks short in there, he's got a couple of players, and it's Andy Monners Wakefield that gets on the end of it and takes a mark.
As I was just giving them a rap about their defensive setup, they've come up the ground and they just haven't done the two-way running and gone back defensively, and Nightcliff have made them pay. They're a quality team, and the score's starting to blow out a bit now.
Yeah, move the ball quickly was the key, wasn't it? Caught the Nightcliff, the Wanderers defenders out of position, and good use of the ball, moving it quickly. And Andy Monners Wakefield on the end of this one comes in with a chance to kick his second goal for the match. Kicks on its way. He's snuck it in the left-hand goal post this time, but a goal nonetheless. And his teammates get around and congratulate him. So He wasn't a regular in the side earlier in the year, but his form has meant that they just can't leave him out now.
Yeah, well, finals time, and he's clearly making his mark tonight, which is great for a young man.
Yeah, 7-goal margin now. Nightcliff 9-56, leading Wanderers 2-2-14, 14 and a half minute mark of this second quarter. So it is really starting to break open.
And it's that fast-flowing movement that you spoke about, Stu. That's really where Wanderers are coming unstuck. They need to be trying to slow it down at every opportunity, slow Nightcliff down, and they can have a bit of a shot of winning the footy back.
Bowles and Jeffrey. Bowles cleverly taps it over to Philo running onto this one. Philo kicks long inside forward 50. Players fall over down there and the ball spills out the back. Ryan Moo again causing the Wanderers defenders some trouble, runs onto it, but Brodie Newman was right with him this time and saw the ball over the boundary line.
It's a star-studded lineup, really, the Nightcliff team, isn't it? Brodie Philo, a couple of premierships, Jewel Nichols medalist, Cameron Eilert. The names just roll on.
Philip Wills in the action, dribbles this one along the ground towards the goal square. It's loose. Thomas Motlop comes in and just kicks off the ground, and he was under enough pressure for that not to be a free kick against him, and rushed behind, and he brings it in quickly, looking for Fuller here. Fuller hands it off to the running McFarlane, but it's going to be run down.
Been caught a couple of times, McFarlane.
Yeah, just trying to make things happen, I think, but Nightcliff pretty hot on him.
Didn't think
with numbers.
Kyle Emery was that fast. It was a great chase.
Well, he had to duck around another player, so that probably helped Emery. Butcher on the end of this
Butcher
one,
again.
snaps around the corner, and this one's gone across the face and a behind only.
Yeah, they're under siege a bit here now, Wanderers. Nightcliff have got plenty of the ball, and their Wanderers are struggling just to get it out of their defensive half and into their forward 50.
Thomas Motlop back here, looking to bring the ball into play. Runs out of the square now and kicks long to the near side of the ground. Newman was up high, but it went over him, and Cameron Eilert takes the ball and gets pushed over the boundary line. So another throw in between wing and half forward for Nightcliff.
You tend to think here Wanderers need to be the next team to score to really be in this match after half-time.
So Priest back in the ruck trying to juggle the ball. Manor comes in, couldn't pick it up cleanly. McFarlane's caught with it, gets a hand pass out. Totham in there, ducks one way, hands it off to Manor. Manor swings it around the corner, but parking himself underneath this one is Bailey Henderson.
Bit late and in the back.
But Henderson took the mark under the pressure, and he runs off the line now, kicks long inside forward 50. Got plenty of purchase on that one, ball on the ground. And Wanderers work it out of defence through Thomas Motlop, high ball into the centre square. Bouncing around, quick hands by Philo, hands it off to Peris. Peris runs to 55, kicks long towards goal. It's falling in the goal square. And there's a free kick here. And it's a Nightcliff free kick down there.
Trent Melville, I think.
This could be very costly and really put Wanderers under a whole heap of pressure.
Trent Melville with another one. I thought Boyo Peris was going to have the fairy tale goal in his 200th game, and the crowd did too, but free kick and a goal to Trent Melville.
So that's 4 goals to Nightcliff this quarter and the last 7 of the match. So, yeah, they're really steaming towards another grand final and a tilt at a 3rd consecutive premiership. And in their current form, it's hard to see them being stopped, but finals are a funny game, as we've seen today already.
Yes, we saw that in the women's with Darwin Buffaloes advancing to the grand final, defeating a previously undefeated Pints. Heidi, what a game.
And you see it a lot in competitions in many sports as well. They go through undefeated and then get a bit complacent and maybe haven't been under a lot of pressure, and then they lose in the semi or elimination finals, those sort of things.
So 18.5 minute mark of the second quarter here. Nightcliff 10-4-64, leading Wanderers 2-2-14.
So from the centre bounce, it's picked up by Manor down there. He props and chips the ball down towards half forward. Fijo underneath that one just got worried out of it, and Bowles picks up, hand passes forward through the hands. It comes to Sean Wilson, and Wilson drives the ball around the outer side Out in front there for Nightcliff was Jack Hammond, but under pressure, the ball went off hands and over the boundary line. So in front of the temporary screen on the outer side of the ground. Boundary throw in, Drogamella for Nightcliff comes in, wins that hit out down to Philo. Philo hands off, but Brew was under plenty of pressure. He picks it up again, tries to bust his way through, but he's held up, and another ball up. Drogamella reaches over the top, it's hacked out of the air, and it's taken by Henderson down there, who hand passes outside to Sean Wilson. Wilson drives long inside forward 50. Brodie Newman coming across to tidy up, spills it unusually, and Ryan moves straight onto it. Hand passes off to Emery. Emery has a flying shot at goal.
That's close.
Was swinging back, but not far enough, and a behind only.
Would have been an incredible goal if that one went through.
He's looking in good form, Kyle.
Thomas Motlop runs it out of defence and hits up Daniel Fuller at half back for Wanderers.
They seem to keep going this side, and it gets stuck right about here, where it gets turned over or a stoppage.
And again, just disciplined by the Nightcliff defenders, thump it out of bounds and start again.
Might need to maybe look for the 45 inboard, try and change lanes, the angles, try something. At the moment, it's all one-way traffic.
So the ball slow coming back from the crowd in the grandstand, but we've got it now. And clock's ticked over into time on in this second quarter. The ball goes over the top of the rucks there. Priest runs onto it, kicks the ball inside the corridor, and there's plenty of Nightcliff players. Wilson hands it off to Henderson. He goes to the outer side where Hammond runs onto it, but he's caught in the tackle, and the tackle's rewarded. And it's Brodie Newman again, who's been prominent for Wanderers in defence, but just hasn't been able to stem the tide of Nightcliff forward entries enough. Newman chips out wide, and reaching over was Hodgson, couldn't hold on to the mark. Kane Riley in there, flicks the hand pass forward. Holt Fitz looks to go backwards, but Simpson gets a hand to it, chops that off. Handball comes out the back now. It's fumbled out there by Boyd, and Wanderers looking to work it forward through the hands, but didn't have anyone to give it to there, and there's a high tackle, I think, and Deacon Braun wins the free kick there. He swings the ball inside forward 50, but again Nightcliff have worked back in numbers and just chopped that off pretty easily. Hand pass misses the target in Wilson, but he's good enough to get it back and hand it off to Philo. Philo inside forward 50, looking for Melville. He's calling for the free kick, but not given. Over the back, Jeffrey picks up, chips it along the wing here, and Joe Baston Priest lets it bounce in front of him and takes it on the bounce and kicks around the wing to Aaron Motlop. Priest running on again. Motlop ignores that, chips inboard, and the mark's taken there by Williams. Yep, Warwick Williams for Wanderers.
Really ran into Aaron Motlop there.
Plays on, but Cameron Eilert sits under this. He cops some pressure, and Brown tidies up, kicks the ball back along the wing. Aaron Motlop's in there, punched off the ground by Philo, but only as far as Matthew Motlop. And
for the specky.
Yeah, just out of the reach of Priest down there, and bounces over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Yeah, they're under a fair bit of pressure, Wanderers. As soon as they get the ball, Nightcliff is so well set up, and even when it does look like it's going to go forward, they've got players there ready.
Bowles gets his hand to it as the siren goes to end the second quarter, one which, again, dominated by Nightcliff. 4 goals to none in that quarter, Liz.
Yeah, a really good quarter by Nightcliff, and which sees the margin blow open at half-time. 10-5-65, leading Wanderers 2-14. We'll take a break and be back for the second half very soon.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be 0.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
Domestic violence is everybody's business.
And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the things we don't see.
It is hurting our families. It is killing our families.
A lot of people have been silent to this fact, and I think it's about time we all speak up together and say no more to this form of abuse.
No more.
No more. No more family violence.
No more to the family violence.
No more. No more.
No more.
Listen up, kids.
Make school your story.
Help you succeed and rise to glory.
Safe to go to school.
So go the distance. Attend every day. Learn and listen. School holiday rockin' we love our break.
Time with friends and family is always great.
When it's time for school, don't get slack.
It's safe to go to school. Can't wait to get back. So don't cut corners.
Do the full term. It's safe to go to school and it's time to learn. So don't cut corners. Do the full term. Make school your story and it's time to learn.
School returns February 2021. Written and authorised by the Northern Territory Government.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
On Territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble. All sorts of animals can be on the road, so watch out. And if the weather is bad, slow down, you mob. Drive to the conditions and arrive in good condition.
The time to kickstart your business is now. Get your message across with the experienced local TV production team at Kick Digital. Cost effective, rapid turnaround, exceptional service. Kick Digital. Television production energised.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal for all school-related activities. 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact CFS Gear for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors for the 2021 TIO NTFL season. For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the 2020-21 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League semi-final between Nightcliff and Wanderers. Well, an impressive first half to Nightcliff, 10-5 at 65, leading Wanderers 2-14, Heidi.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to work this one back into the match, but we'll see what they do in the second half.
Priest reaches over the top, taps forward, but running onto it was Filer, hacked out of the air by Manor for Wanderers. Gets the ball deep forward. Simpson on the end of his takes possession, tries to hand pass off to the teammate, but couldn't do so. Nyhouse comes in and picks up, clears out of the defensive area for Nightcliff. Warwick Williams running onto it, takes it in front of Drogamala, dodges one way, back the other, kicks inboard to Thomas Motlop. Ball spills out now, and Motlop swamped by numbers. And Nightcliff go forward again through Philo High to half forward, but straight into the lap of Newman, who plays on by hand to McFarlane. McFarlane running the ball out of defence now. Oh, beautifully cut off by Eilert. And he chips the ball inboard to centre half forward. And Nightcliff mounting another forward entry. Brew on the left foot from outside 50, but just dragged it for a behind.
Powerful player, Brew, isn't he?
Yep.
So strong.
Great pickup.
And the mullet as well, rocking the mullet.
Yep, the power of the mullet.
There's a few rippers around in the NTFL, in the women's as well as the men's competition.
Warwick Williams with the kick in to the outer side, and Wanderers working it through the hands. Hodgson back to McFarlane. McFarlane drills it straight up the ground to Totham. He plays on with a hand pass back to McFarlane. He's caught again and trying to break the tackle, but the tackle was too good. And Boyd back there, just a really strong tackle, stood his ground and now delivers the ball to Eilert. Eilert chips back in the middle and hits Philip Wills in the centre of the ground. Wills looking to go outside again towards half forward, and we're in front. The ball's punched away from him. Brew by hand to Wilson, spilt the ball. Brew's in there again, gets it out to Philo. Philo quickly onto the boot, kicks it high into the forward line. Butcher coming over the top, but on the ground in front is Holt Fitz. He swings it round, but all Wanderers back there, and Williams takes the mark in the goal square. Doesn't look to have much to go to at the moment though, and eventually goes to the outer side of the ground, but that's just going to come straight back as Bowles chops it off out there just outside forward 50. He kicks long, looking for Butcher again. Plenty of Wanderers defenders back there, but the ball on the ground. Holt Fitz a snap over his shoulder, lands in the goal square, and Thomas Motlop punches it through for a rush behind.
Is that a bicycle attempt, do you think? Missed the mark a little bit.
Thomas Motlop goes in short to Newman in the back pocket. Newman runs on and then kicks long out towards the wing. Punch forward defensively, and Eilert runs onto it, chips inboard and hits Kyle Emery on the lead through half forward, and just the options are opening up. I mean, we've talked about the forward option, big forward options of Butcher and Melville, but there's Kyle Emery as well, who's
that's right.
He's the leading goal kicker. So yeah, plenty of options, and they use them well, don't get in each other's way, and have really good understanding up forward.
Across the park, Wanderers are pretty small, so was going to always be tough to match up against some of the bigger bodies.
He's played for Palmerston the last 2 seasons, but he'd be pretty happy with the switch back to Nightcliff, I think, right now. Kyle Emery is...
Kicks on the way, straight through, no problem. Yeah. And Nightcliff with the first goal of the third quarter.
Yeah, they're a pretty impressive outfit, aren't they, Stu? That's why they're finals contenders and really premiership contenders again this year. Yeah,
that's right. And you'd think that the only thing that might work against them is that they didn't play last week, they don't play next week, and they haven't had a real tough hit out this week as well. Yep. So maybe just a bit of complacency, or not used to the pressure of the contest. But I think they're professional enough to work their way through that.
Such strong support staff. Eliza Morrison, who is the strength and conditioning coach of NT Thunder, she's down there on the coaching panel of Nightcliff, and I'm sure their fitness is A1. As we see that score, Nightcliff 11-773, Wanderers 2-2-14.
Manor and McFarlane sharing the ball between them. Manor's kick, though, is about 20 metres over the boundary line this time.
Yeah, it's just that pressure again from Nightcliff. Wanderers can't really catch a break. When they do get it on the outside, it's always under pressure.
Henderson with the free kick right in front of the Nightcliff interchange bench. Kicks long, looking for Melville down here. Newman up high and early and into the back of Melville, and that's an obvious free kick down there, nowhere near the ball. Unrealistic attempt, and Trent Melville will take the mark. And the man on the mark is probably 40 metres from goal. The angle's pretty tight out here, but Melville's going back confidently.
Yeah, he'll give it a good roost, that's for sure.
So Melville now just steps onto the line of 50. That's a pretty good looking kick. That's a pretty good roost, Heidi.
That's why he was coming back confidently.
3 goals to Trent Melville. What a great kick, and to increase Nightcliff's lead. They've been fantastic all night tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, we see some of the support staff on the screen there just before the replay, and they'd have to be pretty happy with their troops. Yeah, that was
definite free kick there.
A poor attempt, really. Straight in the back of one of their key forwards, Trent Melville. Kicks right on the 50-metre line and really got some nice bend on that.
Yeah, beautiful kicking action. So the score now, Nightcliff 12-7-79, leading Wanderers 2-14. Wanderers scored both of their goals in the first quarter to Simon Bates and Warwick Williams. So they'll be wanting to get a major on the board pretty soon.
So ball in the middle, Manor gets his hands on it again, but slips over, goes to the ground, manages to work it out. Cameron Eilert goes in, picks it up, hand passes forward, through the hands to Danny Butcher and Drogamullah. Ball's bouncing around. Deacon Braun throws it on his boot and goes down forward. Bates runs onto it with a hand pass across, and the high kick forward inside 50. Simpson underneath it, couldn't hold on to the mark. Nightcliff again worked the ball out of defence. Sitting under it this time was Casemiro, spilt the mark and puts his team under plenty of pressure, and Nightcliff going forward again. Butcher in a one-on-one. I think Brenton Motlop did everything he could to stop him marking that one, and Butcher just too strong and sticky hands and grabbed it overhead. So
almost an impossible
he's just a huge,
really,
huge unit, isn't he? They just haven't got that big body to match up on him.
Even in the one-on-one here in the marking contest, he still manages to shrug off
and
turn off the player. And very experienced player.
Yeah.
Butcher straight through the middle, no problem at all, and another goal to Nightcliff. That's 10 in a row.
Number 5 for Butcher.
Going through the motions now, really, for Nightcliff. They're probably thinking ahead next week. I know it's only the third quarter, but they're really starting to blow out now, and Wanderers don't look like they've got any sort of answer.
So, yeah, they are missing a few, like Liam Patrick's not there tonight. You know, there is a couple that could potentially come in, and Brett Eddy. So, they should have options next week.
Josh Cabillo, hopefully.
Josh Cabillo. Shannon Motlop's a very clever coach. He's done a fantastic job with this team, turned the fortunes of the club around, and very passionate Wanderers man. So I'm sure he'll have a look at the team and what he's got on offer next week.
Brew with strength, took it one-handed and then broke the tackle, kicks deep forward, but Newman just drifting across, taking that mark, and chips out wide to Thomas Motlop. Motlop runs straight on and kicks along the wing, but it's Butcher in front there for Nightcliff. Keeps it in play. Nyhouse picks it up, hand passes over his head, through the hands to Eilert and back again. Eilert hooks the ball around the corner, but coming through strongly, Thomas Motlop has a bounce and then looks to bring the ball back inboard, but it's chopped off down there by Brown for Nightcliff, and he's looking to switch the ball now across to half back. He does so, and out here he finds Henderson, but McFarlane drives the ball further afield, picked up by Boyd for Nightcliff, hands it off to Brew. Brew long, straight down the middle of the ground, but into the lap of Simpson. Simpson switches it into the middle, but overcooks it. But fortunately, it falls back into the hands of Manor. He gets tackled, ball spills out, and he's penalised. Just too much pressure on there.
Manor can only do so much there, and he's trying to take the game on, but he just hasn't got many people around him to support him.
And doesn't help when they put pressure on themselves by missing the target, and so they're having to run into to trouble again. Kyle Emery out here gets on the end of this, chips the pass in, but Newman just sagging off there and getting back to help. Takes the intercept mark in front of Butcher, and he chips it short to Brenton Motlop. Motlop going short again. Down the line here looking for McFarlane. Worked under it by Jack Hammond. Hammond centres the ball into the corridor. Oh, going back with the flight of the ball. A terrific mark taken by Bailey Henderson there.
3 of them were there for Nightcliff. Could have gone to any of those 3.
Well, it's his first season in the NTFL. He made his Premier League debut in round 1. He played 4 games with Richmond in the 2019 VFL competition, and he's from Bendigo Pioneers TAC Cup. So fair bit of high-level experience down there in Victoria.
And I just preempted it, Stu, because earlier on in the first quarter I did call Henderson running in for goal when it was actually Emery. So here he is now, Henderson lining up for goal.
Kicks on its way. Goal umpire makes a bit of ground, and that one's missed to the left.
Another good pickup we haven't talked about much is Ryan Nyhouse as well. How good's that, getting him off an AFL list and coming back into an already successful team?
Exactly, and he hasn't had to do a hell of a lot tonight as well. I mean, he's a key player for the Nightcliff Tigers, and he hasn't really had to have too much impact. So I imagine when he's up and running.
So this is better ball movement from Wanderers. They work it round the outer side of the ground. Coming out strongly was Priest. It falls into the hands of Vizza. He hands it off to Braun. Deacon Braun has a shot at goal, but that's wide and out of bounds on the full. So, yeah, Vizza, another one that hasn't done much tonight. He's a big-bodied midfielder normally, but we really haven't seen much of him, unfortunately, for Wanderers. So just waiting for Boyd to bring the ball back into play. It's a long kick to the outer side of the ground. Over the back there is Bowles. He picks up, drives it all around the wing and hits up Melville in front of the scoreboard. He chips inboard to Wilson. Wilson takes a mark, went to hand pass but changed his mind and then chipped it inboard to Hammond. Hammond off to Wills. Philip Wills brings it to the near side of the ground, and Paris on the end of this kicks it forward. There's a marking contest down there. The ball spills to the ground. McFarlane works back through the hands out to Hodgson, and now to Totham. Totham back to Hodgson, who looks like he's moved back into defence now. Off to Dre Thompson. Hodgson again in the play. Chips it forward. Deacon Braun picks it up off the bounce. Hand passes to Jeffrey. Jordan Jeffrey's kick inside forward 50, but Boyd again chopping this one off. And now switching the ball quickly to the outer side of the ground where he's got Bowles running. He spilt the mark and then fumbled the ball. Simpson swoops in, but Bowles just reached a hand in and knocked it out of his grasp and comes away with a kick out towards the boundary line on the outer side. Melville picks it up, hand passes back to Bowles. Bowles around the outer side finds Cameron Islet, who spills the mark, but is able to recover, chips it inboard, and this one's marked by Casemiro for Wanderers.
A little bit messy, that last passage of play. Maybe a bit of fatigue kicking in.
Casemiro short to Williams. Warwick Williams now looking to switch the ball into the corridor. He does to Aaron Motlop, who runs around, plays on straight away, hand passes off to McFarlane. McFarlane had Thompson running onto it, but went longer instead, and that was easily chopped off by Boyd coming out of defence, and he finds Emery.
Geez, he does a ton of work, Emery, doesn't he? Working up the ground, help out the defenders, and then he's in the forward line kicking goals as well.
And Dre Thompson was on there for Wanderers. I loved his game last week, Stu. He was super for Wanderers.
Yeah, they haven't utilised him enough.
Brew has Islet in plenty of space forward, and he in turn has Ryan Moo in plenty of space, takes the mark, runs around a player, has a bounce, he's under some pressure now.
Deserved a goal, Ryan Moo. He's played a fantastic game of footy. Just took it on a bit too much there.
Yeah.
Didn't look super confident for the drop punt there. When he initially got the ball, he wanted to take it on and get closer.
Thomas Motlop on the outer side of the ground, and he's had a pretty good game, had a fair bit of the ball, but chips it inboard now looking for Hodgson and finds him in towards the corridor. He chips it again to Braun. Deacon Braun takes that mark just alongside the centre square on the outer side of the ground. He plays on now and goes wider looking for Bates and hits Bates, but Bates spills off the chest and Nyhouse comes in and picks it up. Hand passes to Riley's advantage, back to Nyhouse. Nyhouse chips in short and Sean Wilson always seems to be on hand to be a get-out target. He chips it around the outer side where there's a foot race here. Braun cleverly taps it back to his own advantage and now drives Wanderers forward again, but Nyhouse chops it off on the bounce. Hand passes off to Philo. Philo goes long towards half forward and Kyle Emery down there as a target this time, but Dre Thompson working back with the ball, taps it in front of himself, but Emery's gone with him all the way there and over the boundary line, and just it's
no love lost there.
No.
It was a good foot race.
Yeah, and as you said, Emery just doing a power of work, running work up and down the ground, and was back there to be a target this time, and then chased the ball against one of the speedsters of the opposition. So ball through the hands. Holt Fitz drills this one in along the ground. Brenton Motlop in front takes it, but he's caught in the tackle. Hand passes off to Thomas Motlop eventually. Thomas hooks it over the shoulder looking for Matthew Motlop. Bounces to his advantage. He picks up now, but half smothered by Wilson. Motlop's got it again. Hand passes over the top to Manor this time. Manor sweeps a long hand pass out wide looking for Brenton Motlop, who hacks the ball forward round the outer wing. Jeffrey out in front there. Just couldn't take the ball cleanly, and that was enough to let Budrick come in and put the pressure on and work it over the boundary line.
Right idea by Wanderers, but really messy and just need to be cleaner.
So the boundary throw in this time. It's Simpson doing the ruck work for Wanderers. Philo running onto this one. Flicks up the hand pass and falls into the hands of Brown. Brown hand passes forward again to Drogamola. Philo's in the action again on the left foot, driving the ball deep forward. Brenton Motlop works his way to the front. Hands come over to Butcher. Butcher running into the open goal, hooks it around. Looked like he wanted to give it off, but I think was told to take it himself, and without much pressure slams through another one.
Yeah, it looked like Brody Philo might have hurt his ankle possibly, or one of the players down there. I'm just trying to figure out who it is.
I think
it is Philo.
It is Philo, yeah.
Yeah, just got...
Is that okay? He's walking it off.
So number 6 to John Butcher. That score now, Nightcliff 14-9-93, leading Wanderers 2-2-14. The 17-minute mark of the third quarter here at TIO Stadium. You're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2020-21 TIO NTFL finals, and what a massive day it's been, Heidi. We've been here since midday.
That's right.
Seen some fantastic women's finals.
Footy.
And now the men's.
So Simpson wrestling the ball in the middle there after doing the ruck work, but he was caught in the tackle, and umpire Noonan comes in, separates the parties, and we'll throw it up again.
One of the most experienced umpires in the NTFL, Mark Noonan, still running around.
So no easy possessions in there for Wanderers tonight, and eventually Moo just couldn't take control of the ball, and it's socket forward. Kane Riley out in front. Just couldn't control the ball. Wilson does beautifully, picks it up, hands it off to Riley, who runs away with a bounce and chips in short here. Holt Fitz on the end of it, got the ball on a string and just centres the ball into the corridor looking for Butcher, who looked like he had his jumper held.
Oh, wow.
Kicks off the ground. No, in fact, the umpire says that Butcher was doing the holding, so it's a free kick to Brenton Motlop.
Motlop got one back.
Well done,
There you go. He got one back for the day.
And he hands it off to Williams. Williams goes in short looking for Fijo through his hands, but he recovers, gets tackled as soon as he picks the ball up by Peris. Cameron Eilert out there couldn't keep it in play, and a boundary throw in.
It's been a bit of a clinic really from the Nightcliff Tigers. They've put on a real show today, and like you say, Wanderers will have to regroup after this game and really work out where they're at for next week.
And what it looks like is that rivalry continues, Stu. St Mary's and Wanderers next week.
Yeah, so that'll be 3 times in 4 weeks they've played.
Both of those teams, they're neighbours in the NTFL, they're clubhouses, and a great rivalry over the years. They seem to bring out the big game, close games in each other.
So ball spills over the top. Casemiro runs onto it, chips it out wide, and he finds Williams. Williams goes short around the boundary, and Mark taken out there by Manor, drills it into Vizza, and Vizza just having a look, looking to switch the ball across to the near side of the ground, looking for Aaron Motlop out here. It's not going to reach him, and Kyle Emery chops it off, and hand passes over the top now. Comes back to him, but the hand pass fell short of him, and Casemiro came in to put the pressure on and worked it over the boundary line for a throw in.
The switch wasn't really on there. If you've got a player in the clear, yeah, sure, go for it. But when there's two other Nightcliff jumpers there, probably not the right option.
Tell you what, there is a massive crowd in here tonight. All the corporate boxes are packed. Cantillas is packed. There's people in the outer and on the grass enjoying a beautiful night of footy.
Holt Fitz running inside 50, kicks long towards the goal line. Newman reaches up, gets a hand to it. Butcher's got plenty of pressure on him, but Newman manages to hand pass it off to Brenton Motlop, and they clear. McFarlane running onto this one. Peris comes in to put the pressure on, lays the tackle on McFarlane, and the ball spills out. Eilert hand passes back to Drogamala. Drogamala wants to get in the action, and he drives the ball forward again. Wanderers with first hands on the ball down there, but couldn't pick it up. Ooh. And now Jerome Motlop comes in pretty fiercely to make that tackle on Jack Hammond down there, but it's in fact he's rewarded with the free kick for that tackle. So he chips in short to Sean Manor at half back. He runs on straight down the middle of the ground, now kicks out wide where Totham's made some space and takes a good mark. He plays on straight away, runs back inboard, drills it straight down the middle of the ground. Big Simpson got his hands on it, couldn't take it. Bates gets caught in the tackle. You don't hear that very often, but the ball spills out and Brown hooks it over to Eilert, and Eilert just slows things down and switches out wide. And Brown advances it round the boundary to Drogamala. Drogamala back inboard to Brew, and Brew will chip it in further to Bowles. And Bowles, Nightcliff just chipping it around now. Bowles to Peris in the middle of the ground. Now he looks like he's going to go longer into the forward line where it's really open down there. Over the back, the punch came, but Emery was first to it. Williams lays the tackle on him. The ball's caught up underneath, and eventually it spills out and over the boundary line.
Yeah, did it well there, Emery.
Nathan Brown's another one we haven't spoken about much either, but you know he was the captain that when they broke the premiership drought, and it just shows the depth of the leadership and you know that they've got down there at Nightcliff, and he's been fantastic for the Tigers.
Priest in front, Butcher over the back, and Monners Wakefield on the outside of the foot, kicks it high to the top of the goal square. Melville underneath it, almost got his hands to it. A few players throw their boots at it, but eventually it rolls into the behind post, so it'll be a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Nightcliff.
Tipalura and JJ Motlop on the bench there for Wanderers, along with Maddie Motlop.
Emery coming off now for a well-deserved break. He's done a lot of running in this game.
Ryan Moo running on, Philip Wills and Shawnee Wilson on the bench still.
So Butcher uncontested in the ruck work in that boundary throw and just took it and had a snap at goal, but missed it to the near side, so...
Three-quarter time.
Yeah, and Nightcliff again dominant, 4-0 again in that quarter, and as Heidi said, just going through the motions really, and just fine-tuning themselves for the big dance in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, 4 goals, 5, Nightcliff that quarter, and Wanderers scoreless that quarter. So kind of tells the tale. We'll go to the three-quarter tie break and be back for the final quarter very soon.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club has been renovated. Come check out our brand new cafe, open 7 days a week. And with the new Kids Club, we are the perfect spot for a worry-free catch-up with friends. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar.
Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gathering or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co. The beer from up here.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
AFL Northern Territory would like to remind spectators that congregating at the team huddles is not permitted during the breaks.
Leading Wanderers 2-2-14. Fourth quarter just about to get underway. We ask if all spectators can now make their way off the field. Once again, if all spectators can now make their way off the field, with the fourth quarter about to get underway. But it's Nightcliff with a big lead at three-quarter time. 14-10, 94 to Wanderers 2-2-14. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we just ask if all spectators could make their way off the field with play about to get underway. Once again, if all spectators could make their way off the field with play about to get underway. Thank you.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the final quarter of this semi-final between Nightcliff and Wanderers. It's all Nightcliff tonight, 14-10-94, leading Wanderers 2-2-14, and that man John Butcher with 6 goals. Heidi, what a game he's had.
Oh, he's been fantastic, terrific up forward. I think Nightcliff now might look to maybe rest some of their star players or move a few around, but I don't think there'll be too much in the way of scoreboard changement.
No, I just saw Dom Brew and who else was on the bench when they went to that vision?
Trent Melville.
Yeah, Trent Melville. So if you're resting, you know, those two fellas, you're going all right as the play gets underway here for the final quarter.
Drogamella wins that hit out, but Hodgson for Wanderers, who's been all over the ground tonight, is thrown into the midfield. McFarlane runs onto it, but just slides on the concrete down there as he's bundled over the boundary line. And
Shannon Motlop on the bench there for Wanderers, on the team bench.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have just been encouraging his players to just find a bit of touch and form, and so that they can go into next week with a bit of confidence. But Hodgson with the clearance again for Wanderers, kicks inside forward 50. Ball spills over the back. Nyhouse takes possession. He's wrapped up with the ball, and we'll have a ball up about 25 metres out from the Wanderers' goal. Drogamullah works his way to the front in the ruck contest and wins the hit out. Bowls with a quick kick forward, but it's chopped off. McFarlane by hand passes forward. Manor runs onto it, but couldn't control it, and the ball's out of bounds for a throw-in. Well, the crowd stuck around, hasn't it?
Yeah, they have. Even regardless of the scoreline, there's still a decent crowd here. It shows that there's some good support for footy here in the Territory.
So Dane McFarlane being held without the ball there, and
he's been well tagged tonight, but he's been fantastic for Wanderers this season. From Geelong, VFL experience, so came up with a few mates, and he's been fantastic, as I said, for Wanderers.
So he's got the free kick, and the man on the mark's about 45 metres out from goal. He's taken plenty of time over it, and just runs inside 50 now, kicks towards goal. It's going right to the goal line, and some good shepherding work on the line allows it to go through. So a good finish, and Wanderers' first goal since the first quarter.
Wow. Some good reward for effort there for McFarlane. He's been working tirelessly all day, and he's tried to do a lot of it on his own shoulders. It's just too hard in these conditions.
Yeah, so his first season in the NTFL, he played 4 seasons of VFL with Werribee and 3 with the Geelong Cats. So, yeah, he grew up playing for Mottawarri in the AFL Barwon competition, and has also represented the Geelong Football League and Country Victoria. So a pretty handy football resume there. The score now at the 2.5-minute mark of the final quarter, Nightcliff 14-10-94, leading Wanderers 3-2-20.
So the ball up, Priest wins this hit out. Running onto it out there was Motlop. Matthew Motlop kicks it out wide. And McFarlane's in the action again, trying to keep it inside the boundary. Wasn't able to do so, so it's another throw in. And just talking about his resume, I think he's signed to play with Woodville West Torrens in the SANFL this year. They're, of course, the reigning premiers down there. So Drogamullah in front, the ball slips over the back. In there is Philo, kicks it off the ground out into some open space. Warwick Williams is first to it, runs onto it. Breaks that tackle, runs inside 50 now, kicks the ball deep into the forward line. Running back with the flight of the ball was Jeffrey, but it's a free kick the other way against Simpson, and Boyd will take that free kick.
Simpson was trying to be a good teammate there and
put the shepherd on. Got pinged.
Yeah.
Well, Monners Wakefield spills that one off his lap, but recovers well, picks up, and now kicks long down towards half forward. Newman going back strongly, takes a mark overhead and under pressure from Emery down there, but he's been pretty good again, Newman.
Yeah, he's been strong, Newman, in that back line. Well, he's had a lot of work to do, to be honest.
So Bates receives the hand pass, kicks on the outside of the foot, but
Nyhouse is playing goalkeeper.
There he is.
Thought he might have juggled that over the line, but the mark's been paid, and now he chips it very close to the boundary line.
Centimetre perfect, as Dennis Cometti would say.
Henderson deep in that back pocket, drives around the grandstand side. Jerome Motlop just hacks it back inside forward 50. Budrick there for Nightcliff, picks it up, spins out of trouble and kicks the ball down the corridor, but Thomas Motlop holds his ground and takes a good overhead mark in the centre of the ground.
They'll fight back, Wanderers. You watch next week. They'll all fire with all their guns. They're very experienced, and they love a big rivalry against St Mary's. So, yeah.
I found that they can be a bit hot and cold.
Yeah. Yep.
And when they want to play well, and they've got their key players there, they can certainly do that. And when there's times like today where it probably doesn't mean too much in the way of both teams are going to move into the next phase of finals.
Yep.
I find that they can be a little bit cold in these conditions.
Terrific work on the mark there by Melville, and he's penalised for a sling tackle in the end. So Matthew Motlop pretty lucky as he tried to run around him.
Having a bit of a sarcastic laugh, I think.
Oh, terrific mark over the top by Simpson. Eddie Simpson just plucked that one out of the air. in the middle of the pack, and he'll go back and have a shot at goal from a similar position to where McFarlane kicked his goal not so long ago.
Be good for their momentum and confidence as well towards the end of this match. If they can kick a couple of goals, they move into next week and feel relatively confident about how they're looking and how they're tracking as a group. But he's missed that one to the far side.
6-minute mark of the final quarter. Nightcliff 14-10-94, leading Wanderers 3-3-21. You're watching AFL NT's coverage of the TIO NTFL finals from TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Ryan Nyhouse runs out of the square and drills the pass to the outer side. Kane Riley out there couldn't control it, and Bates for Wanderers centres the ball, and Simpson there again has a second grab at it and takes the mark. Nightcliff claiming that they had first touch on it, but looked like a mark to me. Simpson plays on now, kicks around the corner and kicks the goal. So Wanderers have kicked the only 2 goals of this quarter.
They have. So Nightcliff 14-10-94, still leading Wanderers 4-3-27, but good to see Wanderers playing it out. Simon Bates instrumental in that goal.
Yeah, and Simpson had an opportunity prior to this one and missed it to the far side and made sure of this one here. Decided to play on quickly and snapped around his body.
Simpson from WA, Claremont and East Perth. It's his first NTFL season, but obviously a long career in the waffle, so another strong league. Ben Rioli had some good success over there last year, Stu.
Fantastic with South Fremantle,
his dad's club, and he's back there again for another season, so good to see Benny. And of course Ryan Nyhouse played for Peel Thunder there too in the grand final against Benny.
Bridie Philo kicks this one down, but bounces out of bounds in front of Ryan Moo.
Simon Bates hasn't given up yet. He's still putting pressure on, running hard.
So the throw in here, Drogamella again wins this header. He's been pretty good in the ruck today, and Philo, his kick smothered by Braun, who picks up hand passes straight into the hands of Drogamella, runs inside 50, kicks towards goal, but that's not going to score, I don't think. Brenton Motlop working back, takes the mark and now chips it to the outer side of the ground, where running Thomas Motlop takes that over his shoulder and now works back and chips it back inboard to Fuller. And they're just caught up in the back pocket out there. Fuller looking to drill a pass up the ground, but that's missed the target, and Nightcliff will bring it straight back in. And Sean Wilson takes a mark about 40 out from goal, and he'll go back and take a shot.
Sharing it round, Nightcliff.
Certainly are. So, but they do the hard work to run to position and get rewarded by their teammates. But Wilson just inside 50 now as he kicks. Kick looks pretty good. Goal umpire likes it straight through, and Wilson fist pumps the air and runs straight off for an interchange, and he's been pretty good again tonight.
He sure has. He's a 2-time Nightcliff Premiership player. Originally played for the Darwin Buffaloes, but switched to Nightcliff in that 2017-18 season. He's a cousin of Philip Wills, so also had Thunder experience in the NTFL and has some VFL experience, and he's a very fit player, works very hard off the track. So Nightcliff 15-10-100 hit the century. Wanderers 4-3-27 at the 9.5 minute mark of the final quarter here at TIO Stadium. Drogamella and Wilson just walking the boundary. They'd be happy with their Saturday night, Heidi.
Oh yeah, definitely. They'd be very pleased with how the team has performed, setting themselves up for a really, really strong grand final.
So Wanderers just caught out with their line-up here. He had an extra player forward, so the warning's given, and now we're underway. Bowles wins the hit out, but Deacon Braun in there. The clearance for Wanderers on the left foot, kicks inside 50. Visser down there, strong overhead, takes it on the bounce, bounces up, and now looking to centre the ball. Looking here for Manor, but he's under plenty of pressure. The ball hits the ground. Braun's in there again. Hand passes off to McFarlane, who chips in short, and he finds Totham on that short pass, and Totham will go back and have a shot at goal from about 35 metres out.
the nephew of AFLNT CEO Stu Totham, and Dad Dave coaches the women's team for Wanderers.
So Marcus Totham kick on the way, looks good, and it is good, and so Wanderers score their third goal for the quarter, and Totham hasn't been their worst player tonight. He's kept trying all night. So,
yeah, he's got good turn of pace and he works really hard. He's not the biggest guy out there, but he certainly turns it on when he's got the ball in hand.
He must have a lot of patience because he looks after my son Fraser at after school care at school. So no, he's a great young fella, Marcus, and the kids love him at school. Imagine having a Premier League player to play kick to at the end of the day. So
he'd be pretty popular, I can imagine.
Very popular. So Nightcliff 15-10-100 leading Wanderers 5-3-33, just past the 11-minute mark of this final quarter after that goal to Marcus Totham.
So the restart again. Bowles wins this hit out beautifully to Brew. Brew on the left foot. Kicks high down towards half forward. Reaching over the top was Newman, but put his hand on the shoulder in doing so and gave away the free kick. And Kyle Emery will take the free kick just outside forward 50 here. He's signalling intention to kick long. He does that. Kicks to the goal square. Players fly, the ball hits the ground, moves in there again, as is Matthew Motlop. He gets a scrubber kick forward. Coming in hard was Fuller, wrapped up in the tackle, and it's a stoppage and a ball up about 25 metres out directly in front of Nightcliff's goal. But doing the ruck work, leaping over the top was Priest, but in the hands of Philo now. He swings around on the left foot. It's going high into the goal square again. Off hands, moves, looked to be tackled without the ball, but it comes back to Butcher. Just standing by himself at the top of the goal square, hooked it around the corner and put it through.
Yeah, great vision by Trent Melville to get the handball out, and that's number 7, Stu.
Yeah.
He's having a day out now, isn't he?
He is, and yeah, a strong, big body. They don't get any smaller, but this time he's just on the end of a hand pass, and yeah, Melville, good vision, and had a bit of space and time, and just hooked it over for another goal.
I think Jackson Calder kicked 6 for St Mary's in the game before this, and yeah, John Butcher's kicked 7 for Nightcliff. So there's been a couple of bags today.
Yeah, they have, and both key forwards, of course.
Yep.
But yeah, Nightcliff have had it all their own way tonight. It's been a bit disappointing as a contest, really, but they're still having a crack in there. Sean Manor lays the tackle on Eilert. The ball spills out. Aaron Motlop gets involved, and it'll be a ball up.
Yeah, I think the good weather has played a part in that as well, Cruzy, just having a dry track out there. We've had a bit of wet weather over the last couple of months, so it's good to see a high-scoring game and lots of scoring opportunities.
And this ground, TIO Stadium, it's just magnificent. Have a look at it.
Oh, it's in good nick.
You know, absolute privilege to play on this ground, and great facilities here in Darwin. So what a great place to be on a Saturday night.
So ball up here, Bowles again with the hit out, flicked it back, but Hodgson for Wanderers gets the clearance, kicks down towards half forward. Kane Riley there almost took that mark, but just spilled out in the end, but it comes back to Riley again. He pats it forward and tackled without the ball there. Was Monners Wakefield, and he was picked up and thrown down, but he's all good and slows things down. He'll take the free kick now. Kicks long down towards half forward, but Brody Newman read it best and took that mark, handed it off to Williams. Williams chips it in here, and Aaron Motlop takes the mark, plays on quickly, hands it off to Matthew Motlop. Motlop across half forward, looking for Bates. Good defensive work there from Budrick, and Nightcliff looking to run it out. They pat the ball in front of themselves. Chopping across here is Casemiro. Casemiro under pressure forces it forward. But Bales went the tap, but almost missed it, and Bates came in and picked up, kicked forward to Visser. Visser drills a pass in, but missed the target there, and Philip Wills working back, tidies up with a hand pass across to Brown. Brown switches to the outer side of the ground to Budrick, and Budrick runs straight off and hits up Bowles close to the boundary line on the outer side. So Bowles just slowing things down now as he has a look around at options and decides to go long down the line. Ball's on the ground. Ryan moves, worked a long way back, and hand passes forward now. Brew gets on the end of it and hand passes back to Eilert. Eilert by foot inboard and bounces it to Monners Wakefield, who fumbles at first but then gets the hand pass out to Holt Fitz. He fumbles as well and then gets caught high as he's bending over to try to pick up the ball. Marcus Totham doesn't like it, but the free kick will go Holt Fitz's way, and he'll be kicking from about 50 metres out. He's was tempted to pass off there, but
yeah, hard when you're running like that, Totham. Just slow down and stop when you've got a player right over the footy like that.
Yeah, and he had fumbled the ball, so he's going back to pick it up, so had momentum, but Holt Fitz, passed it off, but the mark was spilt down there. It was Peris, I think, trying to get in the action for a goal.
For his 200th game.
McFarlane chips it out wide and Fijo takes the mark. Fijo chips in short to Hodgson and he marks in front of Wills. He plays on inboard now and looks to switch the ball back into the corridor. Back to Fijo, who hands it back to Hodgson. He kicks a scrubber kick forward along the ground. Deacon Braun in there pats it out, but Wilson on the end of it. Hand passes and Nightcliff through the hands, working it backwards, but under pressure. Dre Thompson has a little soccer to the advantage of his teammate there, Fijo, and he kicks out wide. The mark spilt this time by Totham, but he's back onto it now. Picks up and looking for options forward. His kick's half smothered as it comes down here, where picked up by Wills in defence for Nightcliff, and he drills it forward, but Fijo chips in and takes the mark and sends Wanderers forward again. Big leap over the top by Boyd, punched away, and Nightcliff through the hands to Riley. Riley chips around the outer side and Brown steadies things down and now finds Danny Butcher on the outer side. Butcher plays on and kicks around the wing, reaching over the top. There was Newman, spoilt the ball and then recovered and picked up. Chips it in looking for Aaron Motlop, but Sean Wilson cutting across the front intercepted that and now drives Nightcliff forward again through the hands of Melville this time, but he's able to recover and pick up and kick high and deep into the forward line, and the ball spills out. Butcher gets his hands on it again, just flicks it out to Holt Fitz, who has a snap on the left, but he's pulled that back too far and across for a behind.
18-minute mark of the final quarter here at TIO Stadium. Nightcliff 16-11, 107, leading Wanderers 5-3-33. There'll be about 6 minutes or so left to go this quarter.
So Newman still working hard, won that one, hand pass to Brenton Motlop, who's kicked it along the wing here to Priest. Priest goes further afield looking for Bates there, but spoiled over the top by Budrick. Budrick swings that ball forward, but chopped off again by Priest. Priest drills in the short pass and he hits up Tipalura at half forward. Tipalura goes short and marks taken here by Jobaston Priest for Wanderers.
Not a lot of movement in the forward line there.
No, so it just bombs it long towards the top of the goal square. Boyd claiming the mark over the back. It's paid. And he spreads out to the outer side of the ground where Henderson runs onto it. He plays on now, has a bounce. He's under plenty of pressure, but manages to get around there and run away around the outer side. And then a beautiful pass up the line. Hits Ryan Moo. Moo chips it back inboard to Sean Wilson. Wilson hands it off back to Henderson and he hands it to Hammond. Hammond avoids the tackle and now kicks inside 50 looking for Butcher. Butcher's worked under the ball. The ball spills over the back and just bounces through for a behind.
Exciting passage of play. Wilson's really important in that middle role as a defensive midfielder. He uses that handball out the back. He's almost the backdoor option nearly every time.
And he's a link-up man, is he?
He's the link-up man, exactly.
Someone to go to. So.
Yeah.
Manor drills this one into Tipalura, hands it off to Braun. Braun chips in short to Priest, and Priest now goes out wide looking for Totham. It bounces to him now. Totham runs on inside 50, takes a bounce, kicks from 50 in fact, and out in front of the big fella Simpson. The ball's knocked away from him and illegally, according to umpire Mark Noonan, And so Simpson will take the free kick here. Tom Boyd's not very happy with that decision, but Simpson will just have a look on the replay here as the ball comes in. And yeah, probably just got his hand in the back there, and that's what the umpire could see. So it's Eddie Simpson who will take the free kick deep in the right forward pocket for Wanderers. Umpire Noonan making sure he gets around on the right angle, and he'll come in for the set shot. So it comes in now, the kick's on its way, it's going across the face of goal. There's a pack of players out there, it spills over the back and bounces out of bounds. So a throw in the left forward pocket for Wanderers.
And look at all the kids on the grass in the background, just having a run, kicking the footy and learning their trade. There'll be a future, Motlop or Rioli coming through the ranks in a few years. It's great to see on a Saturday night.
So the throw-in out there, Simpson works it to the back, hooked around the corner by Sean Manor. Snap on goal, looks good, it's straight through the middle, and that's probably a bit of reward for him, who's worked tirelessly all night, as we've said a number of times.
Yeah, he's had a good game. He's been everywhere. He's tried to do a lot, along with probably Bates and McFarlane, some of their smaller players. Just crumbs beautifully there, front and centre.
So yeah, his first season in the NTFL, he debuted in round 1. He's played VFL with Richmond for a few years, and he played in the Ovens and Murray League with Lavington Panthers, where he booted 54 goals in just 16 games and won the best on ground medal, the Simpson medal. So pretty handy footballer is Sean Manor. So that Ovens and Murray League is a very strong league in Northern Victoria. Nightcliff now 16-12-108, leading Wanderers 6-3. 39 at the 22.5 minute mark.
Bowles wins the hit out, and Manor runs onto it, hand passes out the back. Deacon Braun back there works to it. He's tackled but slung the hand pass out and then followed it up himself. Ball on the ground at half forward for Nightcliff, picked up by Wills, flies out the left-handed hand pass. Ryan Mood tackled as he grabbed the ball, hand passed over the top. Holt swings around the corner, straight through the middle if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's his weapon. Loves a snap.
Yeah, they're dangerous crumbing forwards, aren't they, Moo and Holt Fitz? And along with the power forwards they've got, it's a pretty good combination up there for them.
Yeah, it really is, when you've got your small forwards like that can just turn so quick and agile and kick a snap like that. And Moo as well, right there to celebrate with him.
Yeah, the kid from Tennant Creek, he's an absolute ripper, lovely young fella, and a great goal there. So the score now, Nightcliff 17-12, 114, leading Wanderers 6-3-39, 23.5 minute mark of this final quarter here at TIO Stadium. You're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2020-21 NTFL finals, and it looks like it's Nightcliff, Heidi, that'll advance through to the big one.
Yeah, it's a certainty now. They have sewn up this game, probably was sewn up somewhere in that third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So Brodie Philo again kicks wide, and just too wide and over the boundary line for another throw in at half forward for Nightcliff.
And the question will be, who will they meet when Wanderers and St Mary's face off again next week?
Yes, well, it depends which sides turn up, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Because this Wanderers side isn't the Wanderers side that played last week.
And that Wanderers side last week wasn't the one that played the week before. So, and likewise with St Mary's.
St Mary's had a number of changes, 5 in fact today.
And they've had so many injuries over the last few weeks, Saints. So Daly Andrews fantastic for St Mary's today. Jackson Calder with 6 goals.
Chip out of defence by McFarlane. Manor in there again, gets a hand pass back, but Fuller under plenty of pressure, got caught with the ball, and Danny Butcher thought he'd won himself a free kick, but it's a boundary throw in. So the throw in now, Bowles over the back. Ball comes to ground. Brew in there working hard, got driven in the back.
Could have been in the back or could have been holding the ball. 50-50 that one.
Yep.
Hodson played it on straight away. Nyhouse coming across, spilt the mark, but recovered well. Chopped the tackle away and then kicks it down to Philo on the grandstand wing. He chips it inboard to Holt Fitz just inside the centre square. He's got a free player on the outer side waving his arms, ignores that, goes straight up the corridor And
Brownie wants it. He's going to get it.
Moners Wakefield runs inside 50, kicks long, but that's going wide and out of bounds on the full. So maybe he should have used Nathan Brown out there.
25.5 minute mark of this final quarter. And yeah, a really, really clinical win to Nightcliff, you would say, Heidi?
Yeah, they've been impressive. Classy outfit. They've performed really well. They've been super today, and I think their forward line, it would give me headaches as an opposing coach. It'd be so hard to match up on their bigger bodies, and then they've got the small electric dynamite forwards as well.
Factor.
Yeah, really tough.
So Dre Thompson kicked it off the ground. Visitor ran onto it, hand passed it forward to Bates, and there it is. And a big win to Nightcliff, even though Wanderers actually won the last quarter. So that's maybe a bit of confidence for them going into next week. But Nightcliff red hot favourites.
Yeah, we hear the Tigers song sing out, and it's Nightcliff through to yet another grand final, Heidi.
Yeah, it's exciting times for the Nightcliff Footy Club, I should say. And hopefully Wanderers can get their act together and regroup and see how they perform next week against St Mary's. Should be set to be an awesome clash. Oh, 7 goals to John Butcher for Nightcliff, really set up the win. Big thank you to Stu Davis and Heidi Thompson for joining me in the call tonight. We've had a great day of territory footy, and we'll see you back next week.
There it is, full time here at TIO Stadium at Nightcliff. Big winners 17-12, 114. Defeating Wanderers 6-3, 39. Thank you for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Drive home safely, and we'll see you again next week.